All right, so we're picking back up with part 2 of this, starting over again after kratom addiction. We left off where I was talking about how the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain that it takes to change and go through that change. And I really want to emphasize, and this is where we left off last time, that the pain of change, the fear of change, and then going through that change itself, it does not last forever. And so I want to remind you that as you're standing at this crossroads of either staying in your addiction or moving forward and changing, that this pain is only temporary. The pain of withdrawals are only temporary. The fear that we feel because of anxiety and the pain that we feel from depression that's caused or that is being heightened by our addiction itself, it's only temporary. The discomfort of pause, which I know is a big reason why a lot of us also will stay in active addiction, is because we're afraid of going through the long-term recovery aspects. That doesn't last forever either. So I really want to emphasize that to you. But moving forward, what does it look like to actually, go forward and start over again after kratom addiction? And you guys, I've talked about it before that, I'm living proof of this. I'm living proof of that, you can literally wreck your life, wreck your health, wreck your relationships, and that you can move forward. There were a lot of aspects of my recovery that I share on this channel here if you'd like any specific information about that. But really, in a nutshell, it basically came down to where I knew that my addiction was not sustainable and I was suffering greatly in it. And so I went through that fear and that pain and that discomfort of the quitting and the recovery process. And then I moved forward. And this is what I really want to get to and drive home in this video, that starting over again for a lot of us is necessary. And I know that can seem overwhelming and it can seem scary, but there's a lot of opportunity and there's a lot of hope in starting over again. For a lot of us, and this is even outside of addiction, there comes a point in our lives where there needs to be a lot of changes. And maybe not for you, I can't generalize and say it for everybody, but I know for me, there were a lot of things that were going on in my life before my kratom addiction came into play that needed to change. And so now that I look back on my kratom addiction, I would have chosen, if I had the choice to, go through that addiction or not in my life, I would have chosen it a million times, because you guys, in the end, it completely changed my life for the better. And it really took everything in my life, everything in my perspective, everything in how I was living my life, and it completely changed it. My addiction leveled me in a sense where it completely humbled me. It completely changed me. It completely changed the course of my life. And I would have, if I could go back and never be addicted to kratom, I wouldn't choose that, because I've learned so much. And so in this process of going through this addiction, going through everything that, it brings into our lives and how it affects us, and then moving forward and starting over again is a serious blessing, you guys. And it has the chance to completely transform and change us as people and teach us humility and patience and empathy and compassion and gratitude. Like, that is a huge factor in this, where like I can be grateful. Oh my gosh, this freaking dog. Sorry. What are you doing? What are you doing right now? You better not be rolling in anything smelly. You know how they do that sometimes. What are you even doing? What are you even doing, Peanut? What are you doing? This is something that I can be grateful for. Like, I always, have Peanut here on the channel, and, she's obviously a star. Hi, Peenie. Hi, say hi to them. And I've decided I'm going to actually make a video about her, because, like, she has been such an awesome part of my recovery process, because we had a dog that was 14 years old when she passed away, and she actually went completely blind in the last couple years of her life. And I had her when I was in the worst parts of my addiction, and it was so tough, you guys. And she ended up passing away a little bit before I quit. And then we waited a year before we decided to start looking for another dog. And, we gave Layla, that was our doggie before, we gave her the best life that we could. But I know that there were things about, being in my addiction and giving her everything that she deserved that I fell short on. And so I really struggled with that. And when we lost her, like, you guys know how it is if you have pets. Like, they're such a part of our lives, and they're like, our little fur babies, basically. And so my husband and I were both really sad for a while, and we waited a year to start looking for another dog. And I just spent that time getting healthy, and I was going through my recovery process. And then we started looking for another dog, and there was just so many things that were like, it was totally God who brought this dog to us. And she has been like such a big part of my recovery. And she has a really cool story too, because she's a rescue. And so I decided I'm gonna make a video specifically about Peanut, because she definitely plays into my recovery. Because I was telling you, like, I was having a hard time leaving the house for a while. And so that made it really hard to take care of our last dog. And like, when we got Peanut, I started to, hi, you hear me say your name? Hi, you hear me say your name to you, Beanie? Yeah, she like helped me with like getting outside, and like, cause she's such a cutie, and she's so like funny looking cause she's so little. And, just how her breed is, her legs are little, and she's like all thick and stuff. She a lot of people, hello. She's being so cute. Hi, Peanut. Show them your little legs. People like are drawn to her because she's like such a goofball. And so, she like really helped me with like, just, like reacclimating into the world again after my addiction, and like, being separated from everything and everybody for so long. And she's just this freaking dog. Look at her. And she just brings so much joy to our lives, and like so much love. And she's always like making us laugh so hard, obviously, because she's such a weirdo. And she has this personality unlike I've like ever seen with a dog. Like, I've had lots of dogs in my life, and I've loved lots of dogs, but Peanut is just like something else. And my husband and I decided that like this breed is like just everything that we've ever looked for in an animal. So we're gonna stick with this breed after she goes to heaven. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a video, about her and telling her story. But she is a part of like starting over, and I think that that's where we'll end this little 2-part series about starting over again after kratom addiction. Is that like this dog is like proof of that starting over is possible. Like it's been such a blessing, you guys, to be in this process of recovery and of sobriety. And I want to end it with that like all that's lost to this addiction can be regained in some sort of way. It may not be the exact things that we, had before, but it's oftentimes like even better than we could have ever imagined. And so wherever you're at right now, if you're still in your addiction and you're, afraid of quitting, you're afraid of starting over, or if you're in your recovery and you're like, I don't know where to even begin. Like, I want to stand on the other side of all of that and tell you, like, you can do this. You can come to this side. You can make it through what you're going through and have the life that you've dreamed of. May not be exactly what you have in mind, as you begin the process, but, we're given what we need, not what we want oftentimes. And when we look back over the course of our lives, the things that we have desperately wanted that have not been best for us, that we didn't get, we can tell, when we look back on things that, like, okay, that wasn't meant for me. I don't even know. You better not be rolling in anything stinky. Are you, or just being silly? But we get what we need. So I love you guys. Peanut loves you guys. And we'll see you in the next video. And there's going to be a video telling Peanut's story at some point in the future. So stay tuned. All right. We'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.